On October 11th, 2018, Hurricane Michael hit Tyndall Air Force Base located 12 miles east of Panama City, Florida. The base houses a multitude of aircraft, including the highly touted F-22s. Unfortunately, many of these aircraft were left behind during the hurricane. Many people have criticized the Air Force for deciding to leave behind aircraft knowing that the hurricane was on a direct path for the base. After a few weeks of assessing damages caused by the hurricane, the Air Force has a final assessment of what was all damaged. Let me open by providing some background on the base, along with the highly touted F-22s that it houses. Tyndall Air Force Base is located 12 miles east of Panama City, Florida. It is home to the 325th Fighter Wing of the Air Combat Command. In 2004, it was decided to be the training grounds for the new F-22 Raptors. The increased training allowed the base to expand its operations, along with helping to project unrivaled combat power. The F-22 Raptors that are housed on the base are some of the latest technologies that the Air Force has to offer to the nation's defense system. The base is currently home to 54 of the 183 produced F-22 Raptors, some of which are the oldest in the fleet, dating back to the original manufacture date of 2004, according to Air Force Military. The F-22 Raptor is the most sophisticated aircraft that is in the defense system arsenal, allowing for both air-to-air and air-to-ground support missions to be completed, again according to airforcemilitary.com. The superiority of the F-22 comes at a cost, though. Each one produced has a unit cost of roughly $150 million, according to militarymachine.com. After the hurricane hit, satellite imagery showed severe damage all across Tyndall Air Force Base, and many were able to pick out the infamous F-22s among the carnage. Despite my regret about this situation, I need to explain why leaving behind certain aircraft was the best option for both Tyndall Air Force Base and the Air Force in whole. I want to start by saying that natural disasters like this cannot be predicted, nor can they be negated. The Air Force understands the strain on the economy that even one of these F-22s would cause if it were to be completely destroyed. I assure you that no one is more concerned about this than the Air Force and the command at Tyndall Air Force Base. Despite the severe cost of each aircraft, we left behind certain ones for just cause. The leaving behind of certain F-22s was a crucial aspect for the evacuation of Tyndall Air Force Base. As stated, the base is home to 54 F-22s, many of which have been sent to the base for severe repairs needed. Only 17 of the 54 F-22s were left on the base during the hurricane. They were left here due to severe mechanical problems that caused them to not be flyable, according to the war zone. The 37 aircraft that were evacuated were mission ready, whereas the 17 that were left were deemed unsafe and could have caused catastrophic damage to both the aircraft and pilots. The base is located on a finger stretching into the Gulf, with only one major road evacuating away from the hurricane. Highway 98 would have been the quickest way away from the hurricane, but that also would have taken troops directly into the evacuating citizens. If troops would have attempted to travel south, they would have been taking aircraft directly into the heart of the storm. Over 500,000 citizens were instructed to evacuate the impending hurricane after it was increased to a Category 4 storm, according to Business Insider. Instead of adding to the congestion of the fleeing citizens, we secured the remaining aircraft to the best of our abilities. The Air Force also takes the safety of our troops and our civilian base workers very seriously in situations like this. People have suggested that the Air Force should have been able to completely evacuate all aircraft. We made significant efforts after being notified that the hurricane was on a direct path for our base. We approached our evacuation plan with an order of precedence based on what was most mission critical to both the Air Force and the base itself. The base command also had to strategically schedule aircraft leaving as to not conflict in the air with National Guard and civilian aircraft. All military gear left behind was secured to the best of our airmen's capabilities. Each aircraft was strategically placed in a hangar that was thought to provide the most protection. After crews began the evaluation process, of the 17 F-22s that were left behind, not a single one was deemed a complete loss, according to Military Times. Now that I have explained why certain aircraft were left behind and what our primary focus was, let me conclude. Today I've explained why certain aircraft were left behind and how that was the best decision for both the Air Force and the base. As damaging as this hurricane was, we were able to minimize the loss of critical aircraft such as the F-22s based on the actions we took. Thank you.